Yes, thank you. Um, so if you have government, if you have government utilities, if you got something to pay for, if you're using something for the government, then you should be paying taxes. And now, let's say these people don't got no government schools in some of these small African villages. They don't have government really ain't giving them shit. They got dirt roads. They houses they built them themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have running water. They're saying that these people in Africa don't have running water. You gotta been paying them to get them running water. I know there's water in Africa. They can't move next to a river. They can't um, dig a well. Are you saying that you have to because they're trying to mimic our system that okay, if you want to do a well, you have to own the land and have an aquifer. I mean, you have to own the land where the aquifer is at, and instead of just going to dig a well and motherfucking getting water, you have to own the land, and or the government has to be able to um, to supply you with pipe water. I mean, I don't get that shit. I don't even know how true it is, anyways, because motherfucking that is what that is. The world is what it is. Bottom line is, it would be more advantageous to them to at least be able to feed themselves, if anything. Now, while we're trying to feed these people, we might not be providing enough charity. So for them to say, okay, well, just depend on charity. Would you really want to depend on somebody feeding you, where it's fickle, you don't know if you're gonna get it or not, or just know that you can feed yourself on the land? Now the land is fickle too. I mean, if you don't treat the land right, it's usually fickle if you don't treat it right. If you don't treat the land right, you over farm and whatever, the land won't produce for you anymore. You might have to move somewhere else, blah blah blah. So that's not guaranteed either, but that's more guaranteed than me expecting charity from halfway around the world. So these kids over in Africa, blah blah blah, starving, whatnot, can't get their own shit. All I'm saying is, if we nationalize, or free up all the natural resources for everyone to get it themselves, make it free. Make it free. America thought that was a good idea too. They had homesteading. But like I said in one of my papers, I think they did homesteading more to they were at odds with a foreign nation. I mean, they left their foreign nation and they were at odds with another thing. So maybe they use it as an advertising gimmick to get people on their side. Hey, we're giving out free land. Everybody come get it. Or maybe it was their morals that said land should be free. I know when it came over here, the Indians said land is free. That's why they didn't fucking kill them as soon as they touched down. That's why they didn't kill all the pilgrims. They said, this is a free land. This is a free country. This is free for everybody. Be free. I'm not going to tell you you can't come here. So the Indians let us in, but now we don't want to let the Mexicans in. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. Motherfucking and the Indians, some of the Mexicans are Indians. They look like Indians to me, anyways. But Simicom. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I don't see the point of in us trying to throw charity at these people when we could give them the power to empower themselves. And even if they never make a product that's good enough for even if they never ever make a product that's good enough to sell on the free market, they'll be able to feed themselves, and then we won't have to be having all these commercials about motherfucking African kids starving. Africa got more resources than America all day, every day. That should mean that they should be the richest ones on the planet. They're sitting on, I think, they're sitting on the richest land in the world. China's over there trying to get resources. We're over there taking their resources, taking their diamonds, taking their oil. and probably a lot more. And China's over there doing the same thing. While these two people are probably getting ready for some garbage war. I don't know what these niggas is doing. I don't care no more. But bottom line is, fuck shit gotta stop. Free up the land because it is free. Um, you know what I'm saying? If you was put in a position where you was gonna starve, you see your kids starving. I don't care if the government told you you can't build a farm here. If I was them, I would just build the motherfucking farm anyways. If they come through and mow down, like I seen them on some TV shows, they mowing down people's shanty houses because they're like, we didn't give you permission to build here. I'm like, are you gonna? What I would ask them is, are you building something here? If so, maybe you got to make way. Well, I say leave a place for shanty towns then. And I think China has a place like that, or India, one of those places I've seen has a place like that. Right? Okay, and all you shanty town people, y'all get an area. You know what I'm saying? At least do that. At least do that. You know what I'm saying? But especially if you're tearing down this shit and you're not building nothing on it, then you're a piece of shit and you should die. Truth be told. And let me see. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I feel about them two subjects, and that's why I made this manifesto about about nationalizing or freeing up the natural resources of the world, so everybody can benefit from them, and we all will be better off like that. We wouldn't have to do as much charity and blah 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 and all that yak shit. And I might put this on YouTube, man. Tell me how y'all feel about Atlas Shrugged. I never read the book, so I don't know all the details. I just got the whole premise of it from somebody else, and it sounded like this funky ass stinky mouse gotta go. Oh, Stan. Uh, it sounds like sound like much bullshit to me. I try to give them some credit, when I had an idea about, do you owe these people? And then, like I said, as I went through it, I formulated in my mind that you would feel you owe these people if you knew these people. If you had a close personal connection with these people, you would feel, yes, I owe that worker a better lifestyle because he probably could be doing my job if he wasn't doing that job. And remember, in this system, for this system to work, everybody has to do their job, no matter what you think the value of it is. And as I stated before, that the value of the raw resources really are more than anything else. So people that do that should be paid more than anything else. But they're not going to do that because they know people need food to live. So I'm not going to sit here and sit on a bunch of food. It would be inhumane for me to sit on all this resource while I watch somebody not get it. You know what I'm saying? But now when we get into technical things, people don't see it. It's not the same thing. It's not like, okay, well, if this person doesn't have a TV, he's not gonna be this guy doesn't have a TV, so he's not gonna die for not having a TV. You're gonna die if you don't get no water. You know what I'm saying? So if this guy supposedly owns a land where aquifer is at, and he has a well, he owns the well, he'll feel obligated to give other people water if even if they can't so-called afford it or whatever. But the guy that makes TVs, he's not going to feel obligated to give someone a TV if you can't afford it. He's going to say, "This is a luxury item. You don't deserve to live in luxury because you can't afford it." Well, I'm doing something. I'm doing a job that you may need. Some jobs we don't need. Like, I mean, if you bagging groceries, some service jobs we don't need because you can obviously do it yourself. But if you use them, da, da, da. But I mean, hard labor like physical gathering resource jobs are needed and necessary. Any money that we get is gonna go back to getting something hard, physical. So anyways, Um, yeah, as I stated, man, you're gonna feel if you make any kind of electronic, you're gonna feel like people don't need this. So if you don't get it, if I don't give it to you cheap, or if you don't get it, blah blah blah, who cares? You know what I'm saying? I'm making the most money I can make off of my shit. Now, if somebody that had something that you actually do need felt the same way that you felt about your shit with them, what if they acted like that? Well, you really do need this, but you're making all this money selling electronics, and I'm making scraps farming. So I'm just gonna, me and all my farm buddies are gonna come together, and we're gonna charge you more money. We're charging you $1 million a truckload. Any product, any animal product, any produce, anything that we need to eat, $1 million until we get all your money, and then we'll see how you like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to charge all this crazy money for electronics. They know they could charge cheaper because they making motherfucking millions and billions on profits. So bottom line is, motherfucking, I guess the bottom line, the moral of the story is we all need each other, and every cog in the wheel must be, you know what I'm saying? You can't be missing any cogs in your gears, because you know once you start missing a few, then you miss some more, your shit ain't gonna be turning right. You know what I'm saying? And especially people that work at the source. There's something else that needs to be said there. Let me see. Hey, if they got their value, they'll be the richest people on earth, not the technical people. Because truth be told, you just told on yourself. You said that your product isn't really that valuable. So it doesn't matter if people get it. So since your product isn't that valuable, why the fuck are you charging all this value for it? We could live without your cell phone. We could live without your TV. We could live without your spaceship. We could live without you sitting in the office telling other people what to do. We get it done. We know. I know if I make something, I gotta sell it to somebody. I don't need you to give me a million different sneaky tactics to get it across the thing and get it the most efficient. It helps. I ain't saying it's bad. It helps. But it's not needed. So now you know that your service is not needed. Why do you get paid the most? Think about that, motherfucker. Think about that shit. Think about that. I'm gonna leave it right there. We done.